Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus. Oh, hi, I'm Q and this is the Q Review. The Mall of America in Minnesota recently had its first Black Santa, Larry Jefferson, a retired U.S. Army vet from Texas. Landon Luther, co-owner of the Santa Experience book Larry. At a Santa convention in Missouri, there were 1,000 Santas and only one was black. He asked Larry if he had a real beard and the answer was yes. So he got a 4-day gig. Lots of folks on social media were outraged about this. The Minneapolis Star had to turn off its comment section online because of the racist comments like, if Santa was black from the start and they changed it to a white Santa, that would be racist. What a joke. And let's have a white male represent Martin Luther King. See how the blacks blow up in rage. Let's address this, shall we? Remember when you were a kid and your parents sat you down one day and told you that Santa doesn't really exist? That they were getting you gifts all along? Seems like adults need to be reminded of this. Santa isn't real, people. There's no racism here. A white male playing MLK, that would be called whitewashing because MLK was a real person. Actually, the funniest comment was from someone who was in support. White people always say, there's no color. I don't see color. But wait, except for Black Santa, that makes me lose my mind. I repeat, Santa isn't real. Well, let's actually learn some history on this. Santa is loosely based on Saint Nicholas, who was a 4th century monk living in Turkey. He was born to a Greek family. Nicholas was known as the Lord of the Sea and used his whole inheritance to assist the needy, the sick, and the suffering. He had a reputation for secret gift giving, a practice still celebrated on December 6th throughout Europe. Wait a second, I thought Santa comes on December 24th. That's because Pope Julius I decided to make Christmas December 25th, because the actual time of year for Jesus' birth is unknown. An arbitrary date? What? But let's get back to Santa, the one with the red outfit. The modern image of Santa Claus was created in the late 1800s by American artist Thomas Nast in a series of cartoons for Harper's Weekly magazine. In the 1930s, a Coca-Cola commercial popularized his distinctive red and white garb. Why did Coke use this image? Because Clement Clarke Moore's 1822 poem depicted St. Nicholas as wearing a red coat, and that fit very nicely into Coke's colors. Our image of Santa is based on a poem? What? So now you must be asking, has there ever been a Black Santa before? Why yes, so glad you asked. In 1936, tap dancing legend Bill Bojangles Robinson became Harlem's first Negro Santa Claus at an annual Christmas Eve party for underprivileged children. In 1943, one of Harlem's biggest department stores, Blomstein's, hired its first Black Santa Claus. It was followed in 1946 by a store in Chicago. In 1969, Santa Claus was described as one of the established symbols of racism by a civil rights leader in a dispute with Shillitoe's, a Cincinnati department store that refused to hire a black Father Christmas. The store caved in and hired a Black Santa the following year, and a ton of stores were doing the same across the country in the early 1970s, including at Macy's flagship New York store. One department store in Brooklyn even set up rival black and white Santas separated by a low partition to enable people to make their own choice. Seems very progressive. So this year, 500 families, including 1,200 children, came to see Larry Jefferson as Santa. And you know what? Kids didn't care one bit. All they wanted was to tell Santa what they wanted for Christmas and if they'd been naughty or nice. Children only feel love in their hearts. All they want is their gifts. So don't be a Grinch. Preach love this season. Happy holidays to all of you. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next time on the Q Review. You never know what or who I'll be reviewing next.